Welcome back, dear students. In today's video, I'm going to discuss how we can use a dictionary and files simultaneously. One of the common uses of a dictionary is to count the occurrence of a word in a file with some written text. Let's start with a very simple file of words taken from the text Mahabharata. For the first set of examples, means initially whatever the examples we'll discuss, we will use a shortened and simplified version of a text with no punctuation. Means that from Mahabharata text, say we are going to take a sample of that text without any punctuation in that. Later we will work with text of the scene with punctuation included. Means in case of advanced method of working on this, we are going to consider the punctuations and later we'll see how to count. Initially we'll take a file without any punctuation and later we'll take a file with all punctuations included. So this is simple text. It doesn't include any punctuations. You can see Shantanu, the king of Hastinapura, was married to Ganga, with whom he had a son called Devarata. Okay, say three lines are there from that particular text Mahabharata. Okay, so here we will write a Python program to read through the lines of the file, break each line into a list of words and then loop through each of the words in the line and count each word using a dictionary. What we do, we are going to take that file and break the file into number of lines. Later we are going to break that line into number of words and we'll loop through each words in the line and count each word using the dictionary. Say for this purpose we are going to write this program. Say here vi word count in file.py. This is the name of the file. What I do, say initially I'm going to use one variable called f name to read the name of the file. I'll ask the user to enter the file name. Once the user will enter, say let me use a try and except. Try f and is equal to, means this will going to store the file handle. Say I'll use f name and open in a read mode, and if any errors occurs, except print file cannot be opened and exit. Now here first initially I am going to create a dictionary called counts. A empty dictionary will be created using a function called dict. Now here, because we have opened this file, once the file is successfully opened, we'll parse through each line. For line in f and now one line will be chosen from that file and we'll see that words is equal to line dot split. Split method by default split the lines into number of words using a space as a delimiter. And now for word in this words list of words, what we do, if this word not in the dictionary whose name is counts, if it's not there in counts, what we are supposed to do, if it's not there we should add it. Okay, if it's not there we should add it. Counts of word is equal to 1. If it is present, else if it is present we should increment. Counts of word, it's a shorthand, plus equal to shorthand is equal to 1. It's something like counts of word is equal to counts of word plus 1. And this will be repeated for every line, all the words in a line, and so this for loop will be repeated for all the words in a line and this for loop will be repeated for all the lines in a file. Okay, so for one line in a file this loop will be repeated. Say the line will be converted to number of words and the word will be checked whether it appears. If it doesn't appear, it will be added using if block. If it appears, its count will be incremented using else block. And at the end we are going to print the dictionary using its name counts. Okay, so let me save. Before I proceed, let me show you there is a text called simple Mahabharata without any punctuations. This is a text which doesn't contain any punctuations. I'll give this as a input to our program. Python 3. Enter the file name. The file name is simple underscore mahabharata.txt, which doesn't contain any punctuations. File cannot be opened. What's the problem? Say vi, say word count file. Okay. So after all this, before I print it, one more thing I should add even. Anyway, f and dot close. I'll close the file before the count. But what is the problem? F name is equal to input. Enter the file name. Here the problem is with this. Okay, F name, right? Okay. This is a input file. Now you can see this is how it has displayed. Enter the file name. The file name is simple underscore mahabharata.txt. You can see it has displayed dictionary, turned, contains it is once, it appears once, ruled appears once. You can see and appears 30 times. Then say boys appears 5 times, soon appears once, son appears 10 times, born appears 7 times, politics appears once, custom appears twice, Sutta appears once. Here say Gandharvas appears once. Okay, you can see say Bhishma appears 5 times, right? Duryodhana appears thrice. Say whatever the dictionary it's been printed, you can see it is jumbled. It is not properly readable. Okay, say it's everything is jumbled. So anyhow, say we'll look after that how properly we can display this. Before that, say let's once again discuss the program that we have written. This is the program we have written. We asked the user to enter the file name. Then we opened it. If any errors will print, the file cannot be opened and exit from that. Later, we created an empty dictionary whose name is counts. For every line in this file, f and is a file handle. So we'll take a first line and we'll divide that line into a number of words using a space as a delimiter. By default, say the split will going to take a space as a delimiter. Now, for every word in these words, remember one line is taken from a file and that line is divided into a number of words. Now, this is a list containing many words of that line. Now, first word will be means one word will be taken from that list. We'll check whether that word is there in this dictionary. If it is not there, we'll add it with a value equal to 1. If it is there, we'll take the value. This counts of word plus is equal to 1 is nothing but counts of word is equal to counts of word plus 1. Like say it is something like a plus is equal to b is equivalent to a is equal to a plus b. Okay, so at the end we are going to print the counts. Say what we have done in the program, we have 2 loops. The outer loop is going to read all the lines in a file, whereas inner loop is going to iterate through each word of that particular line. This is an example of a pattern called nested loops. Nested loop is one where one loop will be there inside the another. Because the inner loop executes all of its iterations each time the outer loop makes a single iteration. If outer loops execute once, let us consider inside a line there are 10 words, the inner loop executes 10 times. We think of inner loop as iterating more quickly and the outer loop is iterating more slowly. The combination of 2 nested loops ensures that we will count every word on every line of an input file. So in our else statement, we use the more compact alternative for increment. So that's what which I told. Counts of a word plus 1 is equivalent to counts of word is equal to counts of word plus 1. Either method can be used to change a value of a variable by any desired amount. We can use this or we can use this to change the desired value. Similar alternatives means something like plus is equal to, we have minus is equal to, star equal to for multiplication, divide, slash is equal to for division. These are the shorthands for those operators. So when we run a program, we saw a raw dump output something like this. So like off appears 37 times, skilled appears once. Okay, it's a bit inconvenient to look through the dictionary to find most common words and their counts. So it's not so easy to find the words which, like say for example, if at all I want how many times a Bhishma appears in this word, I cannot see properly. Okay, so we need to add some Python code to get us the output that will be more helpful. Let us see. So looping and dictionaries. If at all we want to display something like this, so then we should add looping and dictionaries. Here, if we use a dictionary as a sequence in a for statement, it traverses the keys of the dictionary. This loop prints each key and corresponding value. Like say, if I take counts is equal to this is a dictionary, Shantanu appears 5 times, Vaishya appears thrice, then appears twice, something like that, princess appears 4 times. If I use a for loop on a dictionary, for every key in counts, print key and its count. Like something like this, we'll get the output. Here what the output looks like, Vaishya appears thrice, something like this. So we'll use the previous program only and work on that, so that whatever the jumbled output is there like this will going to appear something like we have seen just now. What I do here, I'm going to open the same program, and here instead of printing this counts directly the dictionary, instead of printing the dictionary, I'll comment it and let me use a for loop to print for key in counts. Counts is a name of a dictionary. What I do, I'll print first that key, comma, and say for example even I'll print some space or say is to, and then comma, its value. Counts of key is a value of that key. So let us see now how the output appears for this program, the modified program. Enter the file name. So that is simple underscore mahabharata.txt. Now we can see here. So this is more readable than the previous, right? Because easily we can distinguish. Earlier it was jumbled like this, but now we can see Inherit appears once, Hastinapura appears 6 times. So you can see, and say if at all still Bhishma, say for example, say where Bhishma is there, I should search because it is not there in any alphabetical order. Like Shantanu appears 7 times. Say look at this, Bhishma appears 5 times and appears 30 times. It is still better than the previous because we can see all of the words left hand side and right hand side the values, how many times a particular word appears. But still we can proceed further and even we can arrange all these keywords in alphabetical order. That can be done. So we'll see that. We'll write that program, but before that let us see here. So again the keys are no particular order, as I told. This method of a printing can be used to find all the entries in a dictionary with some value. Okay, so the way it has been displayed. Now consider an example to print all the entries in a dictionary with a value more than 5. Say for example, if at all I want say to print only those values which will appear more than 5 times or say more than 10 times, something like that. So consider that this is a dictionary for key in counts. If count of key means this will going to return counts of key will return a value. If it's greater than 5, then print it. Okay, so this even I can use for our program. So let us consider for our program. If I open our program now, I'll comment this and even this. What I do for key in counts, same for loop I'll use, but now I don't print all. If that particular key element whose value is more than some predefined value, like if counts of key is greater than 5, let us consider greater than 5, then only you print it. Okay, so it is going to print that value. Okay, so very simple. Instead of printing all, so we are going to print only those values, those key value pair whose count is more than 5. So simple underscore mahabharata.txt. Here we can see only, see these are the words which appears more than 5 times. Satyavati appears 6 times, Card appears 6 times, 2 appears 37 times, Sun appears 10 times, Hastinapura appears 6 times, Pandu appears 10 times. Okay, so these are the elements or items in a dictionary whose appearances, whose frequency will be more than 5 times. Now continuing, if we want to print the keys in alphabetical order, that's what I was telling. What we can do is we first make a list of keys in a dictionary. Once we make a dictionary, we'll get a list of keys in a dictionary using a keys method. There is a method called keys, which it is going to return the keys of a dictionary. Okay, so we use a keys method available in the dictionary to make a list of keys. Then sort the list through loop and loop through the sorted list, looking up each key and printing out key value pair in a sorted order. So we'll make, using a keys method, we'll make a list of keys. Later we'll sort that list, and using that sorted list, we are going to print a key value pair. Okay, so a simple example is something like this. Like here, counts is equal to Shantanu 10 times, Vaisya 4 times, then 6 times. It's not in order. Okay, so what we do, so we'll use a method called keys, so which will going to return only keys, and using the list function, we'll convert those keys into a list that will be stored in LST. So if we print LST, it will going to print a list of keys, and using a sort method of a list, we are going to sort all the items or elements inside the list. Later, for that sorted list, we are going to apply methods lower. Say a string method, one is lower, another one is punctuation, and the last one is translate. Using these three string methods, we can solve the problems which we have listed previously. So in previous slide, the translate is a string method which is most subtle of the all other methods. Here is the documentation, means details of that particular method translate. We can use that to translate something like this: line dot line, where line is a string, dot translate. How it translates? Say here str dot make a translate from string to string delete string. This particular translate is going to take 3 arguments from string, from which we will take, and to string, where we translate. This is a line that we take, this is a line that we translate, and this by deleting all these punctuations. Whatever the characters appears in this string, we will delete. So here replace the characters in from string. It is going to replace the characters in from string with the characters in the same position in two strings. Whatever the characters here appears will be replaced by this, and delete all the characters that are in this. Whatever the characters appears in this string will be replaced by this, and delete this. The from string and to strings can be empty string, and delete string parameter can be omitted. Even this can be empty, and this we can delete, means all are optional. So let us see. So if we use this, you will understand. We will not specify the to string, but we will use a delete string parameter to delete all the punctuations. We will even let Python tell us a list of characters that it considers. Okay, see there is something called as some method is there called a punctuation. Like if we import string and type this string dot punctuations, it will going to list all the punctuations that a Python will consider. So I can show you this in a Python interpreter. So I'll start Python 3 interpreter using a command Python 3, and now say if I write import string, and just by writing string dot punctuation, see these are all the punctuations that are there in a Python. Okay, so what we do, we are going to use this particular method to trim the lines of the file. So this is a modification we'll do for the previous. So up to this we know. Okay, say here up to this we know, say the same program. So later, say here what we do is, say we'll go through this import string, read the name of the file. If say the file will be opened. Okay, if it is not open, means if any problems are there, errors, the except will be executed. Counts is equal to dict. For line in f, and line is equal to line dot rstrip. You know what rstrip does. We have discussed even previously in detail. So what this rstrip does is, it will going to strip all the say extra spaces, tabs which will appear more than once inside the line. Okay, and that stripped line will take up. Okay, here if we see line is equal to line dot translate, and this line say line dot make a translate So how we are going to make translate? Say you see here, these two are empty. So this string is empty and this string is empty, means we don't take, say we don't store anywhere, we don't take from anywhere, instead we'll take from this line, exclude, delete all this, like string dot punctuation. So here, say you can use it from string and to string for such that, say for example, every capital A should be replaced for capital Z. If that is the case, here you write capital A and here you write capital Z, so that every capital A will be replaced by capital Z. So that we are not doing, because of that we have kept these two empty. But only thing is, whatever the string appears here, we are going to delete all those. Okay, so and you know, so these are all the punctuation. Now here, line is equal to line dot lower, we converted the total line to a lowercase. Words is equal to line dot splits. Now whatever the line it has been read, that will be splitted using a delimiter, a space as a delimiter, and it will be stored in a list called words. For every word in a words, if word not in a counts, this is as usual like previous. If it's not there, initialize it, means add it and make the count equal to 1. If it is there, then increment the count. Later this is as usual. Okay, say list, sort it and then print. This can be done, say I like advanced count, say for example .py. Initially I am going to import string, f name is equal to input, enter the file name. Now try f and is equal to open f name and in accept, print file not found, say exit if the file doesn't open. Say here I'll create a dictionary called counts. We can create an empty dictionary. Now for line in f hand, what we do, line is equal to line dot r strip. It will going to remove the all spaces which are extra, more than one spaces or tabs which are extra, it is going to remove all them inside the line. Okay, and that will be stored inside in line. And later line is equal to, once again we'll convert that line such that, say line dot translate of. So how we translate it, using a method called line dot make these transitions trans. Which transitions, anyhow we are not going to replace any string by any string, because of that these two are empty, but we are going to delete all the occurrences of these punctuations, right? And later this line will be converted to, all the characters in a line will be converted to lowercase using a method called lower. And now we'll create a list using line dot split method, means split method. So here we'll use a for loop for every word inside the list. For word in words, what we do, if word not in counts, then counts of word is equal to 1. Else what we should do, we should increment that. Counts of word, I'll use a shorthand notation, plus equal to 1. Okay, and later say this is to sort. If I use lst is equal to counts dot keys, and later lst dot sort is going to sort the list. And now for key in lst, print, first print key, later the colon, and later it's counts of key. And so here itself you can close the file using f and dot close. Let us see the output of this program. So before that I'll show you the file. The file is just mahabharata.txt. It contains comma, full stop, so many apostrophe, all those things will appear in this. So this will be a input to the program. So this is mahabharata.txt. What's the problem? Name make trans not identified. Okay, the problem there is, just open this. Say here line is equal to line dot translate. This is not comma, this is dot. Okay, here also it has become comma, it is actually full stop or dot. We should create a list here, right? Mahabharata. Now this is Even though all say punctuations are there, we have arrived. You can see here, okay, and appears 30 times, means removing all the punctuations we have found a occurrence. Hope this is clear to all of you, dear students. Thank you for watching.